Greetings guys, gals and non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you are well and I hope that you are fighting, because there is a lot to be fighting for. As usual, there'll be a link in the description to the page on my website with a bunch of petitions, donations, emails to send to MPs, etc, etc. Now today, as you can see, I have a very different background. I'm still trying to figure it out. I've still got stuff to buy to put behind me, but basically I have moved. So that's exciting. It's the first time I've lived independently, and yeah, super exciting. I've been here for a couple days now. If you want to hear more about the move with myself and my best friend, we actually have a podcast together, and I believe we're going to be uploading a bit of a flat tour sort of thing up there at some point. So feel free to subscribe to that channel and you'll get more updates about us living together. I am so tired. Moving is exhausting. You know what else is exhausting? The presidential election. Oh my god. So today, as I'm filming, it is November 4th, and so I woke up at like 5 this morning because of anxiety, because of the election, and I've been sort of following it and watching it all day, and I've had many emotional breakdowns today. I went for a walk and literally just started laughing out of nowhere, and then fell on the ground and sat in the middle of the pavement and just laughed because of the amount of frustration, and this is what my emotions do. It also, my jeans ripped. Doing that ripped my jeans right across my ass. So it's been a day, and I'm not even in the States. I'm not even there. I can't even imagine how it must feel to be someone living in the States with all of this happening. It must be so scary, so terrifying, because right now, obviously, the results aren't out. We don't know who has won, but a lot has happened, and I know, pretty much guaranteed, that no matter what the outcome is, Trump cult members, because that is what they are going to hurt people. They're going to start hurting people who are visibly of minority groups, whether that be people of color, queer people, trans people, disabled people, what be it, people are gonna get hurt. And that's so scary. It's so awful. Either they're going to be very arrogant because fuck yeah, we won, this is our America, and they're gonna start hurting people, or they're gonna be really pissed off and they're gonna hurt people because of it. No matter what happens, there is going to be some sort of civil unrest, and the perpetrators of violence are going to be Trump stan. And it's inevitable, which is fucked. Trump already said today, stop counting the votes? He declared victory before they'd even finished counting votes. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? What would you say? What would you say if you saw a non-white country doing that? That's a question I have for you, Trump stans. If you were watching an election in a different country, not that you would, because you don't care about anyone outside of yourself, let alone any other country, but let's say you were watching an election for somewhere that's not white, somewhere in Asia, let's say, or South America, and you saw one of the people running stand up and say, stop counting the votes, I've won. We've won. A landslide victory. Anything else from here is fraud, it's a lie, they're stealing the election, it's all fake news, I've won. You would call fascism, you would talk about how that's undemocratic, you would lose your shit and be like, oh, I'm so glad I don't live a place like that. You can want a candidate to win and also point out things they do that are wrong. You can like and support a person and also disagree with them. I don't know why all these Trump supporters have in their head that they have to see Trump as this 100% perfect God. How did this happen? That's what I want to know. How did we end up in a place where this man, who has absolutely no political experience at all, ended up as the president of one of the most influential countries in the world? But not only that, but his supporters don't just support him as a candidate, they see him as a fucking god. You say one bad thing about Trump and they will have your head. You can disagree with things that people do. You do know that, right? People aren't perfect. You see it a lot with Trump supporters saying, you know, like Democrats and like the people on the left all like worship Biden and Biden does bad shit too. Yeah, we fucking know, man. I don't like Biden. A lot of people don't like him, but we don't have another choice. It's Biden or Trump. So people are choosing Biden. I don't know why you're out here pointing out all of Biden's flaws. Like, yeah, we fucking know, man. We know. And we've been saying these things. The point is that we don't want Trump. So we had to choose Biden. You're out here just saying everything Trump does is amazing. Like, at least when you tell us Biden has done bad shit, we're like, yeah, we know, but he's better than this. We tell you Trump's done shit, and you're like, no, that was good. That was good. Everything he does is good. He is perfect. As he said, he could literally shoot someone and he wouldn't lose votes. That was a really big ramble. I hope that made sense. This is what the inside of my brain looks like constantly, and I hope some of you related. I don't know if any of you are following what I'm saying. I just need to come and just brain dump my thoughts on today because it's been a lot. I just need to let it go, and hopefully we share that. Hopefully you can get mad with me, okay? Great. I've written down some questions I have for Americans here. Right, yeah. I asked this a few videos ago, and I'm gonna ask it again. Right now we don't know who's going to win. It is very, very close. But if Biden wins, Trump stands, what are you gonna do? Like, this has changed politics in the States because these aren't just like Republicans. These are Trump stans, right? Like they're not the same breed. He's made a cult and it's fucking massive. It's huge. There's so many of them who've spent like millions upon millions of dollars on like Trump merch, and they do anything. What are they gonna do with it? What are they gonna do with their time? There are people whose entire personalities and lives have become just loving Trump. If he loses, what are you gonna do? Who are you gonna vote for next time? Because no one else is Trump. How did this man who doesn't have any political experience come in and somehow create a gigantic cult with millions of members? It's phenomenal, really. It really is. I feel like Mr. Atheist, Jimmy Snow, has probably made videos talking about this. I feel like I've probably watched them, but I bet he's got some that I should probably watch again to maybe get some answers. But he makes good videos about this sort of shit. I don't know, man. Where are you gonna go? I would like to bring up again my idea that I had a couple videos ago of just creating Bigot Island, putting all the Trump stands on an island, building a wall around them or fucking shooting them into space, I don't give a fuck, and just lock them all off from the rest of the world. If you have any other ideas, let me know, but at the moment Bigot Island is the best I can come up with. But yeah, if you have any other ideas, let me know. We can work together, try to figure something out. Trump can be their leader as long as they don't have access to anything outside of their island, we're fine. It's so close. Like, it is so close. There are, in some states, thousands of votes, like barely 1,000 votes in it between the two. And because of how stupid the system is that you have, where each state is a certain number of points, which is so dumb. It's so dumb. Did I not hear that the Democrats have won the popular vote for the past, like, 8 elections? That's ridiculous. Why don't we just have the person with the most votes wins? New Zealand used to have a similar thing where it sort of worked by areas, and now we've changed it so it doesn't, because, you know, that's illogical. It should be a majority of the people want the person, then the person wins. Why is it anything different? It's so stupid. It's been like this for forever, right? It just doesn't make much sense to me, the fact that the US as a country isn't super open to change in a lot of ways. I mean, you see that by the fact that they're still the only country in the entire world that uses the imperial system. Just use metric. It's so much easier. The imperial system makes no sense. I don't understand at all. Even here, people try telling me shit in miles. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's 3 miles? What does that mean? I don't fucking know how far that is. That's extremely off topic, but also not. Just be more open to change. And I think that's another reason why Trump has won, right, is because the left is looking to radicalize and wanting change, and a lot of people are scared of that, even though the change is change for, you know, human rights. People who vote Trump are very capitalist, yeah, and they feel like if they're not voting for Trump, if Trump doesn't get in, then capitalism is under threat, their money is under threat because they're gonna get taxed more, and it's just such a big mess, and it's so selfish. It's so selfish. Like, you're being taxed more. So what? So what? It's like, what, if you get paid above, like, I don't remember the number. If you get paid, like, above 400k, right? It's only the money you earn over 400k that gets taxed more. You get taxed the same up until that point. Why don't people understand this? It's not that difficult to figure out and to realize. It's like people are deliberately being ignorant just because they don't want people to have money. They don't want to help people. Disgusting. Why would I want the government to take my money to help people who need it? Disgusting. Helping people? No, thank you. Poor people not being so poor? No, they have to work for that themselves. Thank you very much. Kids want food. They want to eat. Not with my hard-earned money. Maybe they should work for themselves. Oh, they can't? Because they've been stuck in this terrible socioeconomic cycle where they can't get a good education, which means that they can't get a job, and they can't get a job because they didn't get a good education, and they're not getting out of that cycle because people aren't giving them money to help them get out of that cycle? Well, that's not my fault. That's a whole different issue, fucking here in the UK and feeding kids. So much politics has been happening recently. Like, so many big decisions have been made. There's a bunch of shit happening at home at the moment too, with our election and our referendums. I could go into that. There's just so much. I have just been rambling for literally 20 minutes straight. This probably doesn't make any sense at all, and I feel like no one's following this, but my head is so full and so sore, and I'm so tired. This is just, it's so heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking, and it's exhausting, and it sucks because I can't do anything. I'm a New Zealand citizen in the UK. I can't do shit about things that happen in the country where I live. Let alone doing things in countries that I don't live in, like the States, as much as I really wish that I could. I really wish I could do something. I wish that I could do something, and I wish a lot more individuals wished they could do something. I wish more individuals did things. I am so mad because, you know, I guess we put ourselves in these social media bubbles. So everyone that I saw in the States on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, everyone I saw was going to vote. Everyone was registering. Everyone was going to vote, and they were going to vote for Biden. That was the big Gen Z. That was the big Gen Z thing. This year with Black Lives Matter and everything everyone was talking about how powerful Gen Z was, and we're all coming together and we're all going to make a difference. And there were record numbers of youth registering to vote. But then the turnout was the same number of youth voting in this election than there was in the last one. And when I found that out, my blood boiled. I am so upset by that. I am so fucking upset by that. I thought that finally young people were going to vote and say something and make a difference in their fucking country. But we take democracy for granted. It's such a privileged thing. The amount of difference young people voting would make is phenomenal. And I just want to know, if you are someone who was eligible to vote and didn't, why? Every vote counts. There are some states where there's less than 2,000 votes in it. And there are what? Tens of millions of people who don't vote. Tens of millions. If 1% of those tens of millions voted, that would make a big difference. Every vote counts. You have the opportunity to change the policies of your country. In this election, one of the biggest elections in modern day history, there is so much on the line. This is about human rights. And yeah, Biden's shit, but he's better than Trump. Trump is actively taking things away from people. Trump is hurting so many people, and just so many people just sit back and like, well, it doesn't affect me, so why do I need to vote? My vote doesn't matter. I don't care who wins. I don't really know much about politics. Educate yourself. Talk to your friends. Surely everyone fucking knew. You can't not know. How privileged do you have to be to just sit back and watch this unfold? And then there's the people who don't vote but then feel like they're able to complain when it doesn't go their way. If you didn't vote for Biden and Trump wins, you cannot complain about it. You have no right to complain about that because you didn't do anything to stop it. You have a voice. You have an opportunity to change things. And choosing not to use it is incredibly, incredibly selfish. And the fact that, you know, for these months, there's been protests and everyone's speaking up against, you know, fuck Trump, and still we didn't show. It's just really fucking heartbreaking. It's really fucking heartbreaking. Voting is so important, and I know that I've said that multiple times, and I know that now it's too late for this election, but wherever you are in the world, whatever election for whatever is coming up, please exercise your right to vote. Please. Because it does make a difference, and it is so important. I spent years as a teenager being like, well, I don't really get New Zealand politics, you know, like it's not really that different. It's not as extreme as in the US with Republicans and Democrats, which is true, but it still makes a difference. And I know that now because I educated myself and I'm now eligible to vote, and I did vote, which was very exciting, but you can't use that as an excuse. You can't use lack of knowledge as an excuse. You need to educate yourself. Educate your friends, your family, or give them the resources to educate themselves. This election wasn't just about politics. This was about human rights. And human rights aren't politics. We need to stop politicizing skin color and sexuality and gender and bodies. Those aren't political things. The color of a person's skin should not be political. Deciding if a person should have the same rights because of their genitals shouldn't be political. Deciding if someone should have equal rights because of their sexuality shouldn't be politics. That's just being a human, and we all deserve equal rights. We all deserve to be treated as humans, and the fact that human rights are politicized is awful, and it's disgusting, and this election was important for that, and people didn't show. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to win by the time you're seeing this. Comment below, let me know how you've been handling the election day stress. Tell me if you voted, any ideas you have about what Trump stands are gonna do if they lose, or next term, what are they gonna do in 4 years' time? I don't fucking know. Let's get on Trump Island. I would still like to send them there very much. I am exhausted, so I'm going to go make food. Thank you so much for coming along. I hope that you voted. I hope that Biden has come out on top, and I hope that things are safe. But I don't know if they will be. A massive thank you to my Kiwi Fruit channel members whose names are up on the screen right now. And a big thank you to my channel member of the day, Anna Hoogland. I love and appreciate you endlessly to the ends of the earth, so thank you. If you would like to become a channel member, you can press the blue button in the description or the top link in the description. Thank you so much for coming along. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Please stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah.